Welcome to this exploration of the ribcage and shoulder girdle, not just as anatomical features, but as dynamic components in the generation of movement, posture, and power. In sports, dance, martial arts, and daily function, power doesn't originate solely from muscular contraction. It's generated and released through the body's natural design, how bones, joints, and soft tissues interact to create elastic force. The energy stored through coiling and released through dynamic uncoiling like golf swing, baseball pitching, and tennis serve. This video focuses on how the rib cage and shoulder girdle integrate with the spine, pelvis, and arms to enable powerful, coordinated movement. By turning, rotating, and twisting, these structures load the body like a spring, priming it for explosive actions in sports. The rib cage isn't a rigid box. It's a flexible, adaptable framework designed for both protection and mobility. It includes 12 pairs of ribs curving from the thoracic spine to the front, the sternum or breastbone, the thoracic vertebrae anchoring the ribs in the back. The ribs connect to the spine via costovertebral and costotransverse joints. These joints aren't just for breathing. They allow for subtle but vital movements, expansion, torsion, and rotation, which are the source of elastic forces for many sports like golf swing. As you twist your torso, these joints let the rib cage respond with a spiraling motion. This ability to rotate and coil stores potential energy in the connective tissues, much like winding a spring. Elastic force is built when the rib cage rotates with the spine, stretching the ligaments and fascia in a controlled spiral. This creates a preload of energy that can be released in powerful motions like swinging a golf club, throwing a punch, or performing a spin. The shoulder girdle is designed for both freedom and precision. It includes the scapula, shoulder blade, the clavicle, collarbone, the proximal humerus, upper arm bone. It floats over the rib cage, connected by soft tissues and 4 primary joints: glenohumeral joint, shoulder joint between humerus and scapula, acromioclavicular joint between scapula and clavicle, sternoclavicular joint between clavicle and sternum, scapulothoracic articulation, a functional joint where the scapula glides over the rib cage. This design gives you enormous range of motion. But here's the key. This mobility depends entirely on a stable, aligned rib cage. The scapula must slide precisely across the ribs to position the arm for efficient power transfer. The scapula is the bridge between the torso and the arm, a dynamic translator of rotational energy. True scapular stability isn't about locking the shoulder blade down. It's about dynamic control as it glides over the rib cage, maintaining connection with the movement of the torso. When the torso rotates, the scapula must ride that motion, positioning the shoulder joint for maximum leverage. Twisting the rib cage sets the scapula into motion. The spine rotates, the ribs follow in a spiral, and the scapula moves with this pattern, aligning the glenoid cavity to direct the arm's motion. If the rib cage is stiff or misaligned, the scapula loses its foundation, throwing off both mobility and force transfer. In throwing, swinging, or reaching, the chain reaction begins at the pelvis and spine, is coiled through the rib cage, and channeled through the scapula into the arm. Elastic force is power. You don't have to muscle. You store it by coiling and unleash it by releasing. It's the product of full-body spirals and strategic recoil. Picture this. As you rotate your torso, your spine twists and your rib cage follows. The fascial network, connecting spine to ribs to shoulder, stretches. This preload stores kinetic energy across the thoracolumbar fascia, intercostal muscles, and shoulder capsule. Then comes the release. The stored energy unwinds, traveling through the scapula into the arm. This is where speed, whip, and force emerge. The greater the quality of your twist and the more coordinated your rib cage spine scapula system, the more elastic force you can create and control. Whether it's a baseball pitch, a tennis forehand, or golf swing, the pattern is the same. Turn, coil, store, unwind, deliver. Breathing and posture aren't just support systems, they're power amplifiers. Each deep breath expands the rib cage in 3 dimensions. This mobility primes the thoracic spine and keeps the rib cage springy and responsive. When posture is aligned, neutral pelvis, stacked rib cage, elongated spine, your ability to rotate, twist, and transfer force improves dramatically. This alignment also optimizes the scapula's ability to glide and keeps the shoulder joint centrated under load. Performance doesn't live in isolated joints. It thrives in connections. The ribcage aligns with the spine. The scapula glides over the ribs. The arm follows the lead of the torso. And through turning, twisting, and rotating, the entire body works as a coiled, intelligent spring. To build this kind of power, train posture and breath, develop thoracic and scapular mobility, strengthen stabilizing muscles, practice rotational patterns through movement. Whether you're throwing, swinging, or simply reaching with grace, your power lies in your structure and how you use it. Thanks for watching. Keep moving, keep spiraling, and keep unlocking the elastic intelligence of your body.